So, you think the Great War of the Mahabharata is over? The good guys won, right? Well, what happens when the battlefield goes quiet, but that fire for revenge, it's still burning bright? Today we're going to talk about the absolute horror that happened after everyone thought the fighting was finally done. Picture this. Duryodhana is on the ground, his body broken, but his hatred is stronger than ever. And with his last breaths, he gives this one single, chilling command to the last few warriors he has left. Now, these aren't just the words of some defeated king. No, this is like tossing a lit match into a room full of gasoline. An endless war. See, for pretty much everyone else, it was over. The 18 days of absolute carnage were done. But for one man, Duryodhana's words weren't just a suggestion. They were the key that unlocked a rage that had been building and building inside him for a very long time. And that man, of course, was Ashwatthama. You really have to get inside his head to understand what happens next. I mean, this guy is already shattered. He's still reeling from the dirty trick they pulled to kill his father, Drona. Remember that? They shouted a lie, Ashwatthama is dead, just to distract his dad. So he's haunted by that, carrying this massive weight of grief and betrayal. And now he hears his king's final wish for revenge. That's it. The switch flips. All that pain, all that sorrow, it just twists and hardens into pure, uncut rage. The night of deceit. So, while Ashwatthama is consumed by this darkness, planning something truly awful, what's happening back at the Pandava camp? Well, it's the complete opposite. It's this beautiful, fragile illusion of peace, an illusion that's about to be torn apart in the worst way possible. I mean, just try to put yourself there. The sheer relief in the air must have been something you could taste. For the first time in years, warriors are sleeping without one eye open. Mothers like Draupadi are finally taking a full breath, thinking the nightmare is over. They're all thinking tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first day of our new peaceful life. And then you have this chilling promise whispered into the darkness. While one camp dreams of peace, one man is vowing to commit an act so terrible it will make history itself shake. That peace? It's not real. It's a soap bubble about to be popped by a promise that's going to leave a permanent stain on everything. So he does it. He creeps into the camp, a ghost in the night. He finds the tent, the one where the 5 young sons of the Pandavas are sleeping. And you have to remember, these are just kids. They're the future of the dynasty. They didn't even fight. And he goes in, and in the silence of the night, he kills them. All of them. In their sleep. This isn't war. There's no honor here. It's just murder. 5. Let that number just sit there for a second. 5 sons, 5 bloodlines, 5 entire futures, just gone, snuffed out in a single night. This is beyond a tragedy of war. It's a massacre. And this is the horror that's waiting for everyone when the sun comes up. Draupadi's justice. So, morning comes. But there's no celebration. All that joy, all that relief from winning the war, it vanishes in an instant. It's replaced by a grief so profound it just sucks all the air out of the camp. The sound that fills the air that morning isn't the cheer of victory, it's the shriek of a mother's pain. Draupadi finds them. She finds all 5 of her boys. Think about everything this woman has been through. The humiliation, the exile, she endured it all for the sake of justice, for her family's future. And now, in one night, that future has been completely, brutally stolen from her. And this is not the sound of grief anymore. This is the sound of pure, white-hot fury. It's a demand. Her pain has crystallized into this unbreakable will. She wants a justice so absolute, so unforgettable, that it becomes a lesson for all of eternity. For her, the war for Dharma is not over. Not until this final, disgusting act is paid for. Punishment for the sin. Okay, so fueled by Draupadi's cry, the hunt is on. The Pandavas and Krishna, they go after Ashwatthama. But what happens when they find him? It's not just a simple capture. It becomes one of the most intense debates about the real meaning of justice in the entire story. So when they finally corner him, you've got this massive moral crossroads. On one side, you have Bhima. He's furious and he wants blood. Simple, an eye for an eye. Kill Ashwatthama, end his father's lineage, and be done with it. It's clean, it's brutal, it feels like justice. But then Krishna steps in, and he says, no, not like this. He argues that for a crime this monstrous, just killing him is letting him off easy. Death is too quick. The punishment has to fit the crime. It can't just be an ending. It has to be a living, breathing consequence. The curse of immortality. And this is where the whole story takes a turn. It stops being about simple revenge and becomes a masterclass in cosmic justice. What Krishna comes up with is, well, it's both genius and absolutely horrifying. It's a punishment designed to be so much worse than a clean, simple death. And it makes you ask a really tough question. Is justice about ending a life or forcing someone to actually live with what they've done? Okay, so to get what happens next, you need to know about the mani. This was a divine gem that Ashwatthama was literally born with, right on his forehead. Think of it as the source of all his power, his protection from harm. It was basically his identity. So ripping it out, that's not just a physical attack. It's an attack on his very soul. Krishna's plan is methodical. First things first, Arjuna physically tears that gem out of his forehead. Right there, his power, his divine status, his pride, it's all gone. He's made vulnerable. But believe me, that's just the warm-up act. The real punishment, the one that truly matters, is what comes next. And then Krishna lays it on him. It's not a death sentence. It's a life sentence. He's cursed to wander the earth for thousands of years, suffering from diseases with wounds that never heal, rejected by everyone he meets. He will beg for death, but it will never come. He's being turned into a living, breathing warning, a walking monument to his own horrific crime. So they bring this broken, humiliated man back, and the final decision falls to Draupadi, the person with every right to demand his head. And in this moment of just unbelievable strength and grace, she says no. She refuses to make another mother feel the pain that she is feeling. She understands. She sees that letting him live like this walking death, is a far greater and far more just punishment. So what's the final score? Well, it's a tragedy all around. The Pandavas got their kingdom, but their future was murdered in a tent. Ashwatthama got to live, but every second of that life is pure agony. The victory they fought so hard for is forever stained. It just goes to show, you can win the battle, you can win the war, but the echoes of that pain, they just keep on going. And that really leaves us with a question that's just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago, doesn't it? What Ashwatthama did that night and the punishment he received forces us to really think about what justice even means. Is it about a final, clean end, or is it about forcing someone to live with the weight of what they've done, forever? I don't know the answer. And the Mahabharata, well, it doesn't give us one either. It just leaves it there for us to think about.